What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Them Twins. Today, we're talking about the internet crisis. No, not talking shit on the internet, but actually getting good internet.
Exactly. I mean, especially we're Germans, so every German knows fucking internet sucks, especially live on a village. Then you get like vectoring. So basically, you have like fiber optic till like basically in front of your house, and then the last part is just copper. And bro, you got shit internet. Like,
Okay, so
try
what's
to
the
work
issue
from
with
home.
copper, Lucas?
Well, basically, it doesn't transfer as much of fast data. So basically, you don't get a gigabyte, 500 MB, 300 MB. I don't know,
Per
maximum you get
second.
per second. Actually, I think the biggest fastest you get maybe like 80 or something like this, which just tends to be a lie,
Megabytes.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, so today I want to talk about Starlink because I was like, man, I've seen it on more and more podcasts, and I was like, wait, how big is actually the market? Mark, talking about this, how many subscribers do you think they have, and how much it goes per month? For those people who don't know what Starlink is, so basically Starlink is from Elon Musk. Is basically they're providing internet via satellites. That also brings me in a second to another question.
Is this
How many?
also, Lucas? Is this owned by SpaceX?
No, it's its own company. If I'm not correct, so it's
Okay.
called. No, SpaceX. SpaceX. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mark, what do you think? Like, how many? Well, first of all, so basically, it's internet, right? So you get high speed internet. I think you get right now 150 MB. The only thing that you need to
Yeah.
do is basically have on the roof. It's like a square, I would say, like a meter, or like 3 feet square that you put on your roof.
An antenna,
And
basically.
exactly, well, it's just like it looks like a solar panel, to be honest. And it collects photons. And then you get up to speed like to 150 MB per second, which is sick, right? And bro, Mike, how much is the subscription? What do you think? And how many subscribers do they already have?
So I don't know. So I'm guessing there's different plans because I listen to podcasts as well.
Yeah,
I'm
it's also
guessing,
based on country. It's crazy.
I don't know,
That's
at least $200, and this is no setting up fee, like per month, $200.
so depends. So in the US, you have between 140 something like this, whereas in Spain, for example, it's $50 and it's the same service, which I think is quite interesting because it's one of the only services where you have such a big discrepancy in pricing, even though the delivery costs the same, right? Because the satellite flies over the earth, right? So it doesn't really matter. But the only thing is difference is like setting it up, but it doesn't change the subscription. But because of course Americans tend to have more money than income than people in Spain, etc. That's why they can charge more there, like 3 times this for the
Well,
same
also
amount.
probably it's they have so much more, well, so many more areas that are remote. It's such
Yes,
a smarter way to solving the issues.
for sure. I mean, on the other day on the podcast from Trump on
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, he also says like, yeah, I mean, it's $1 trillion. They have to spend more than $1 trillion just to get high speed internet, even to the rural areas in the US. And just think about it, just spending millions so that you can connect internet to a farmer, whereas you can just
Subsidize.
subsidize exactly like Starlink or something like this, which is so much better. You pay like 150 euros per month, something like this. And yeah,
I think
it's
one of the
crazy.
things is that the
Hardware
argument
costs
probably is like
350.
they probably want to have it just like be sure that, I don't know, in case of war comes, or I don't know, EMP doesn't hit the satellite outage and all that stuff. They're like, I want to have the internet stuff.
Might be, Mark.
I don't
Actually,
trust these guys.
that might be the case, but Mark, but actually, I want to show you. Look, this is a video that I found, like on how many
Oh
satellites
shit.
they actually are. Like, exactly. So I was like, how does it even work? Right. So we're going now through a time span from 2019 when they first launched to this goes till 2022, and we
Is
will
SpaceX
see.
launching these?
Yes. So it's over 4,000 in 2022, and then now it's over 7,000 satellites. So they're mini
Damn.
satellites. And I was like, man, did they really do over 7,000 launches? No, they didn't. So each cargo load of SpaceX can carry between 20 and 24 of these, right? Of these
Oh
satellites.
wow.
So, like, just that was because I was like, man, did they
How big
really
are
do?
these?
Oh, that's a good question. Starlink satellite size. What are you thinking? I have them here in front of me.
I just looked that up.
I mean, it's not that big to be honest. 2.8
Meter square
meters,
meter.
so 9.2 feet times 4.6
Yeah.
feet, so 1.5 meters times
24 square
2.8.
meters. That's not bad.
Yeah, and they weigh like 260 kilos, which I don't think is that much. I mean, it's crazy. Just think about it. So they had, for example, last year over 2 million subscribers. They made a profit of like
How many
well, 2 million and
Damn.
6.6 billion in estimated revenue. Um, which is like for me
Well, it's probably
crazy.
super. I mean, think about it, the costs, but at least they're covering some of
Oh yeah, I think
the
they said
space
they had
shuttle
the
stuff.
first. Let me see. Um,
I like, man,
they
I
make
really
profit.
think
They
that's a
make
great idea.
profits. 2023 is the first year that they actually make profits. It's crazy.
Like SpaceX.
No, no, no. Starlink itself. I think Starlink is their own Starlink own entity. Entity.
So one thing that
Uh,
I have the question is, how do they get the internet?
yeah,
Who's boosting it up there?
that's a good question. I have no idea.
You know what
That's
I mean?
a really good question. How does it? Well, want a second check it out? How do
Yeah,
they
I
get
don't
it
know.
then?
It's just like, because the thing is, yeah, I get it. But what they do is just basically like an extender, right? But where is it coming from originally? So they must boost it up somewhere
Yeah.
and then reflect it from there, I'm guessing. Or they connect
So
somehow.
basically, with radio waves that are beamed up to Starlink, and then Starlink itself can travel like through the vacuum of space. Radio waves can travel easily, and that's how you can then
So it's
interlink
much
it between
faster
other
there, I'm guessing.
satellites. Yeah,
Mm.
but just think about it: 7,000 satellites. So now there are 7,000. It's going to be more and more, and soon, like it's crazy for me. It solves so many problems, but I wonder what problems it actually will cause in the long term, right? So, for example, one of the things that I saw were like, what's the downside of it, right? So, for example, it could impact like scientists who want to look out of space because like there's so many satellites that are just crossing and that might be visible. So, actually, in the first time when they're being deployed, when they're still fumbling around, they're visible. So, you can like amateur
So
astronomers
like
can
if you have
see
a
them.
telescope, yeah,
Yes,
okay.
exactly. You can see that. I mean, also
Hmm.
7,000 is quite a lot. But at the same time, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Just think about the market size. Think about how did current internet provider actually grow, right? So I mean, look, Burak, our friend, right? He's working for one of the internet providers in
Oh my
Germany, and
god,
it's
this
like they
sucks.
have to fight to be like fighting for scraps and then hoping that in 40 years it makes money because you basically want to go in the outskirts of villages trying to put internet there like fiber optics and then hoping that over the next 40 years it pays back. Whereas if you put in satellites, yes, you have like a lot of money that you have to put in first, but you can reach basically every person on this planet might be a potential customer, right? The only downside of these devices is that they always need a certain size of receiver to collect the photons and then basically get internet, right? So basically on mobile, you will have shitty internet connection, really shitty because the antenna is not optimized for it. But for example, if you go camping and you have like a mobile device, so like
Mm-hmm.
let's say an iPad, the only thing right now you still need electricity, so you have to plug it in. But soon, I'm sure there will
Just get
be
a portable battery with it. I mean,
yeah, but it
no
needs to be a
biggie.
super strong one. And then
Yeah,
like
but
later
not a
on,
big
it's
deal.
just portable. Then like think about it. You have like remember back in the day, I just have to think about it. There were these backpacks that had like solar panels on the side so you can charge your phone, which was like
What?
was
I
hip.
don't remember this.
You never saw these
Okay,
backpacks
what kind of bullshit is
back
that? You know what I was also thinking is,
backpack.
did you check out where the biggest market is? Is it probably Africa or
No,
like Asia?
I'm assuming yes. Check it out. Check it. Yeah, I'm here. I have the backpacks here with the solar panels. But it's like so hippies could just. I'm charging my phone now. Charge it now. But yeah. Well, let's see. Biggest. But in general, it's super cool because like in a rural area, think about just in also in Germany, everywhere we're a little bit outside in the farm region, bro, you can get great internet everywhere and be like, okay, I'm paying 50 euros plus a 250 or 350 per for the setup. Well, not even setup, it's just the device. The only downside is I think there is no customer support yet, so customer support hotline, at least what I saw from some feedback. But
Well, also there's some just weather conditions. You're more dependent on weather conditions, right? If
I
you
don't
have
think so. Starlink,
well, if
impact.
you have a storm, I'm guessing. I don't know. That's what I saw. But like for example, well, it's about what they put on the receiver,
Yeah,
right?
radio signal, moderate to heavy rain, snow, hail can cause momentary service dropouts, storm system near our local ground.
Yeah, it's about the receiver, not
Yeah,
the right.
yeah,
It's about
yeah,
the receiver part. If you have snow on it or whatever, all these kind of shit, that
yeah.
obviously has an impact.
But most of the time, it's great. All right, Mike.
No, it's fantastic. But if you think about it, you can just all right. These worst case scenarios, all right, you don't have it for a second. But hey, in these rural areas, just think about Africa and all that stuff. You can now connect to the internet, which gives them much greater chances in the future in terms of development, access to information, and the whole game of education. What that brings to a whole country or a continent in that sense. I mean, don't get me wrong, not everyone there they have probably amazing internet, some of them, but I'm just saying rural areas. Talking about rural areas.
In general, like think about it, you're building infrastructure in old cities where you have like you literally have to tear up the entire ground in Germany. You can just put it on the roof and be done with it. So I think that's like a really, really great opportunity. And also like market size, to be honest, I believe it could be $1 trillion company. It could be easily outgrow anything because if you look at Telefonica, you could at T-Mobile, they're worth a ton, but they're also very they have certain markets, right? So they know it's like, okay, Germany, T-Mobile is very big in Germany, well, the US as well. But then they own infrastructure. But they, like, same with Starlink, they own all satellites thanks to SpaceX being able to launch it, right? Then you can, and then you can reach anybody because it doesn't make a difference. Like servicing clients in China, well, that might be from, uh,
Probably not.
yeah, but everywhere else you can just service them. So I think that's a it's and then, bro, it's like a service provider. When was the last time you actually changed a service provider? Well, we just did, but besides that, you're just like happy the idea of
Probably in the
internet.
process, honestly. It's still a
Yeah,
pain in the ass. We waited
yeah.
2 hours to get service at Orange.
Oh my
Shout out.
god.
But
It was
it's
not
a pain
even
in
to
the ass.
change it, right? It's not even to change it. We were just like trying to get it, like get a deal and combining with our two mobile phone numbers, and then it
And we
just
were
like
not waiting, right? We were the first one there. We directly talked to the
exactly.
guy, and it's just horrible, sir. Like they
No,
tried, but just like it
the
still took two
system is just
hours, and it's still
horrible.
not done.
Just for that, it would be already worth it for me because I'm like, okay, no hassle. I just order it, get internet, don't have to worry anything. It's a subscription. I can cancel it. Well,
I mean, but canceling also is a pain in the ass, and like with like
oh
Orange or
man,
whatever these internet providers, like, are you sure there's a clause that says you can't do this right now
oh
because you at least is 6 months?
yeah, it is crazy. And then think about it: people paying in Spain, $40 or 50. I think price
Hmm.
of it's the same as we pay with Orange. I think it's like 44. So we would pay the same amount, no
Well,
hassle.
but for example, we couldn't do that in an apartment because where would you put it? You need to put it on the balcony.
Valid point. So yeah, there are restrictions. Yes, valid
Right?
point.
I mean, in big cities, I don't know. I think that point doesn't make sense in that regard. It's just kind of waste because big cities usually have already their service. But if you're out and about, I mean, even think about it. You can add this to your car. Just add this to your freaking car,
Well,
man. And you have. I'm wondering if Tesla has it integrated. Wouldn't be surprised.
man, just think about the you go on a camper, right? You go on a camping trip, you just want to work remote. Man, you don't have always good internet to work from there. So if you want to work in a camper, go on a trip, hell yeah, put it on the roof and you're good to
Yes.
go. And of course, especially with the huge batteries that they have in these vans, man, you are good to go.
Yeah,
But yeah,
100%. That's what I'm saying. I think this is fucking amazing for this kind of stuff.
so
Anyways, I fucking love it.
prediction
Cool.
here. I'm assuming that Starlink will be $1 trillion company probably in the next 5 to 10 years for sure because like it's getting profitable, and it's getting also for high speed internet, bro, gaming, everything. Like that's also one of the biggest constraints is, for example, on cloud gaming is latency, right? So the latency is like very, very hard to get it done correctly. And with that, you can have remote. So, for example, also Elon Musk said in one of the podcasts, he basically said, hey, soon you will have also gigabytes of internet with low latency, and then you can also just like stream
The
me.
question is, do you think that's going to be faster than if you play with people in the US? Would that be faster through Starlink?
I don't think so, because you still have to connect to the server. The internet will not be fast because in the end the servers are not hosted
Yeah, no,
on
but we
Starlink.
could host it
Yeah,
there. We connect to the servers in the US, but
that's a very
instead of
good
going
question.
through the Atlantic, it just goes
It's
over.
it's a very good question. Well, the future will tell. All right, everybody. I think that's a quick episode on Starlink. I think it was super fascinating. Also, it's super cool. I love the technology. Elon Musk, the man. But yeah. All right, guys. Please subscribe. Let us know in the comment section. Of course, catch you next one. Peace.
Peace.